Welcome back to the channel. Today I have the wonderful Bonebridger with me to discuss David Fincher's newest film, The Killer. The trailer was released today, and I thought we would discuss some of the things we thought about it. I personally thought it felt very straightforward. Fincher, he is kind of the master of the suspense thriller. It looks enticing. It's a little vague, but I'm looking forward to seeing it, especially with Michael Fassbender as the lead. I don't know what your thoughts are.
The trailer is definitely Fincher style editing. Like you can tell the pacing of it. Like so, it's not gonna surprise anyone that it's gonna be like that thriller style. You don't really know what's going on at times, but it is Michael Fassbender, and I love Michael Fassbender, and he's been in some bad movies, but he's usually not bad. It's usually just the movie's bad. I don't know. I'm excited. This is Netflix, right? Is it gonna come out in theaters for like a week or two?
I think it will do a limited release because I think this is a potential Oscar contender. They do have two other films, such as Maestro with Cooper and December with Todd Haynes' newest film that they're probably going to push a little bit more. But David Fincher usually is considered for the award season, so I would assume they would put it in the theater.
And a lot of people were kind of upset that he wasn't doing another season of, was it Mindhunter? Or
there's a
I think
yes,
they're
there's
not.
yeah, whatever show he was involved with. I don't think he's doing that anymore. I think you're correct. I mean, I'm a big fan of when he was in charge of House of Cards. That was one of my favorite series he did. But even with film, I mean, Seven and Fight Club and all that stuff. It's just he always really hits it out of the park. The last film he did though was Mank, and that was Gary Oldman, and it was about a guy that wrote Citizen Kane. It was his father's screenplay that he kind of felt like he had to make it, and it's very out there for him, and it didn't like blow me away. I liked a lot of aspects of it, but I felt when watching this trailer, it was like, oh, David Fincher he's going back to like very David Fincher-esque basic him, because the last one was very out there for his style.
Right. And the trailer kind of alludes to it. It's like he keeps saying like, stick to the plan, stick to the plan. And it's like he's saying it over and over to the point where you're like, well, we know he's not going, that's going to be what goes wrong is he doesn't stick to the plan. Which
Yeah.
I love that they're setting us up for that. Something that like, if you just stick to the plan, it's going to go the right way, but it's just so hard to do that. And especially in a thriller, but like you said, it's vague in the way of, I don't really know what it's about. Is he going to be like a good guy? It's hard to predict what this character is going to be like.
Yeah, I agree. And from the trailer, I did get a little bit of like Hitman vibes. And then I went on to IMDb to look at the synopsis, and the synopsis kind of reminisced a little bit of John Wick. It was, kind of going against who hired him and all that stuff, but it was so vague that it was like this movie could really be anything. And it's probably best for a Fincher film to keep it vague on purpose, and just go in.
Absolutely. I think it's interesting that if Fincher is doing so much work with Netflix, it must be because he gets the most control. That's my only guess, is that he wants to do things his way, and Netflix probably says, yeah, whatever you want to do. I can't imagine it would be his first choice to be on streaming as much as he has been the last few years, but if he's getting the money and the green light to make whatever he wants to make. But I don't know. This seems like the kind of movie I want to see in the theaters, not
Oh, me
at
too.
home. Yeah.
It's a great point that you brought up about the creative control, because my first thought again went back to Mank, and that's a very obscure film that I don't know what studio would be like throwing money at him to make it. So yeah, Netflix probably is like that with him, and they probably love that he's on their roster of great directors. And one of the things I did love about the trailer as well, Fincher always works with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and you could tell that score was definitely them again. So that was really nice to see. They really set the tone for his movies really well.
Yeah, I was wondering, I was like, Fight Club is such a distinct feeling film. It's such a cultural moment. It's like a rebellious against the machine with this twist where you don't really know that's what's going on for a while. You don't know that he's the part. I wonder if this is similar in the nature of what you said. Maybe he's rebelling against the people that he used to work for that made him do certain things. And if that's the case, that is a formula that works. I wonder where we'll get that David like the Fincher twist, because that's like the John Wick scenario. That's like a lot of movies. But where will the twist be? I can't really identify that, which is kind of cool. Whereas in Fight Club, I couldn't identify any of the twists, but it became like a cultural phenomenon. I don't see this movie being like that, but it could be more, like you said, it could be more award worthy, like more serious.
Yeah, and you're right. I think this is technically, they call it a teaser trailer. I don't really think I need a full trailer at this point. It's going to be out in October in theaters briefly, and then November coming to Netflix. That's all I need. I think people like theater movies should just kind of do a little bit of that. There's so much over explanation in a lot of trailers these days. So they told me on this.
Absolutely. And that's a big problem is you show too much in a trailer. You do like The Flash and you show the whole movie. And then you don't give people that movie. It's one of those things that you can really set people up for disappointment. This trailer doesn't show you a lot of anything. Recently we talked about the Rebel Moon trailer. It shows you a lot, but it doesn't really show you anything. I like these trailers where it doesn't just give you the plot. Like the Marvels trailer, I know exactly what that movie is. When I heard that it was an hour and 30 minutes long, I was like, because you showed us the whole thing in the trailer. It's going to be like 6 sets, 25 jokes per set, and it's going to be over. Whereas this looks like it's going all over the place. It's hard to keep up with what's going on, which is, I think, what people loved about like Mindhunter and things like that, where it was like hard to keep up with where it was going, but it was interesting. Like it didn't confuse you. It just intrigued you. And I think that's what's interesting about this trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. The cinematography looks stunning in this. The shots looked great. And back to Michael Fassbender, I noticed on his IMDb page, the last time people saw him was in that Dark Phoenix film where he played Magneto again. He filmed, I think, quite a few things before the pandemic, but that came out in 2019, and we haven't seen him since. The only other project that is being released this year that he's in is Taika Waititi's newest film, and I'm picking out what it's called, but it's like the soccer movie, and maybe you've seen the trailer for that.
Yeah, he's going to be the coach, right? I think.
Yeah, it's definitely probably one of those like underdog sports stories for sure. Right. I'm thrilled to see him in a role I love him as Magneto, but I'm thrilled to see him in something like this again. Shame, I highly recommend to anyone that's watching. Shame, I thought he was so fantastic in. It is about a person struggling with sex addiction, but it's the way it was all directed and put together in the script is really good, very subtle. Carey Mulligan is in that as well. He puts out such a work all the time, and he's a fantastic actor, like you said.
Yeah, and he was in that Snowman movie, which ironically, not a good movie, really cool concept, had a lot of views, had all that production problems. I'm kind of surprised they convinced him to be in it, but like he's still Michael Fassbender. He's still good. It's a shame he's not been in more stuff. I do wonder if he's been like, maybe he's secretly filming for Deadpool 3. Maybe he is in that movie. I could see that. He was always.
I think so too.
Yeah, I could see that. He's too good of an actor to not be in something big coming up. So I'm glad we're getting this because, I mean, he's one of the best there is.
Yeah. And looking at his IMDb and just seeing Magneto, those movies take probably up so much time. And I think I know that's one of the reasons why Jennifer Lawrence kind of was thrilled to not be a part of that anymore, to do projects she actually wanted to do. I agree with you, though. I have thought about this. I do think with the Deadpool 3, they are going to try to really tie in another multiverse. But,
of course.
because we just don't get enough of those.
Not enough.
More of that, all of those X-Men characters and who they represented from multiple films. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see this. I will keep everyone on my channel posted to get specific theater dates. I hope it's not just a limited release in theaters, but I have a feeling that might be the case. But if it's not, or I'll definitely try to make it to see it in the theater. I'm sure you will as well.
Absolutely. I'd rather see it in the theater for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having this discussion with me. And everyone check out the teaser trailer for Netflix if you haven't seen it yet. It's really good. It has a really great pacing. Gets you really excited and pumped up for this film. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you all next time.